Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I'm your host, Josh, and with me are my two co-hosts.
It's your boy, Chayse.
And it's your boy, Nick.
So I'm looking for games to play on the PS5.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about I'm deciding maybe I should get Demon's Souls or not. I don't think I should go ahead and get Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I don't know about getting that.
I played a little bit of it. It's okay. Modern Warfare was better.
Yeah, I heard it's same old type stuff, kind of.
Can you shoot Reagan?
I didn't hear anything about that. Not in the reviews I watched. So it's
you cannot.
I don't want it then.
Yeah, it's automatic 0 out of 10. Yeah, shame. So yeah, I'll probably pick it up like when it's reduced price. Probably when it's like $40, $30, something like that. Because the new game prices are like $70. So now you really got to think even harder about which games you want, which games you don't want. So
yeah, you got to be a little pickier about what games you decide to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I might the next game I might get is just Cyberpunk if that does come out in December. So that's the one I
knock on wood.
Yeah,
I got the pre-order already.
Oh, you get the pre-order.
It's coming. Have you seen the pictures that people have been taking in the storehouses where Cyberpunk is being held?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
it's
I've seen
coming.
Those pictures. Yeah,
it's coming.
So I mean, at least that's physical proof. There actually is physical media of the game.
Yeah, it exists. It is not just a figment of our imagination.
Yeah,
it's happening.
At least there's some hope there that it actually does exist.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I don't know how much it's going to live up to the hype, given all the expectations, the delays. Don't know, but I'm excited for it. Excited for that game. So that'll probably be the next game I get. If the reviews turn out to be good, that'll probably be the next one I get for sure and play that one.
Well, I'll let you know. I might even let you know on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and I will play it. Nick, are you buying it?
Not right now, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, well, I'll get it. Chayse will get it, and we'll discuss at least, give first impressions of it.
Right.
Dedicate some time into it. How was your Thanksgiving anyway? Yeah.
Thanksgiving isn't a thing out here in Japan, so it was pretty much just another Thursday for me.
Oh, okay.
Not bad. I mean, that's pretty much how Thanksgiving should have been if you were in America.
Yeah, it was just another Thursday. Hung out with my girl, made some dinner, watched a couple movies. It was all right. It was nice and quiet.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
did you watch any Pacific Thanksgiving movies or no?
They exist.
I'm struggling to think of like an actual Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, same.
You can watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's a Thanksgiving movie.
Okay, all right. There's Thanksgiving, I guess.
There's some. I mean, Thanksgiving there's not a whole lot, but there's some you can pick from.
I feel like it's always been that holiday that's kind of gotten the shaft because it's right next to Christmas, like a month away.
I think
it's
also,
true. It's always, and especially with like the way stores are nowadays, where Christmas starts on November 1st, basically.
Yeah.
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 You can watch the Charlie
like
Brown Thanksgiving. Watch that too.
The only reason why I even know Thanksgiving was yesterday was because Black Friday is today.
So are you going to get anything for Black Friday?
No, I'm chilling this year.
Okay. Nothing you want.
Not yet. I don't want a PS5 yet, to be honest with you. It's not because I'm a broke boy. It's just decisions.
Decisions, huh?
Yeah. I got a whole backlog of games that I haven't even touched on the PS4 anyway, so I kind of just want to give that a light of day on the PS4.
Yeah, it's true. I could just do that with my PS5. I mean, like DMC 5, I could just play that. Doom
True.
Eternal.
They got the remastered coming out soon, right?
Yeah, and like the remastered has more editions of Virgil in it, right?
Yeah.
Like more playtime with Virgil, so.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could play Doom Eternal. I haven't touched that. Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't touched that, so I could just play that on my PS.
Those are two really good games that you should actually play before you get to Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk's gonna take up all your time.
Yeah, very true. That's very true. And then also, what else has been up with me? Did a date, so did that. I guess a week ago now. So did
how's
that.
dating? How's dating during a pandemic? How's that going?
I mean, so went out to so I tried to go to this one place, like this bar, and I thought I didn't need anything special to get into this place. Then I get there and they're like, "Oh, you got to get a ticket to get here." I was like, "What ticket? What are you talking about?" And, so had to kind of change plans. Luckily, I had like a backup place that I could go to that I researched beforehand. So I was like, okay, we got to change plans and go to this other place. It was outdoor dining, and it's Chicago in wintertime at night. So that's not. I mean.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah. So that's not the most optimal. You know what I mean? But but they had like these heating lamps, so when they put people outside, they have these heating lamps they do to kind of warm people up. So, I mean, still didn't really do much. I mean, I didn't wear the best shoes. I should have had some Timbs on like Miles Morales did. And in the game, I had like some nice breathable shoes. Probably shouldn't have did that. Really wasn't thinking. But it was nice. It was a lot of first date awkwardness. Kind of like that stuff I hate of, kind of like, what do you like to do, and trying to answer questions, and like kind of like
the Q&A.
Like an interview and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, do all that. So like so it's a lot of that first date awkwardness type shit. So, but
the desperate search for commonality.
And so I was like, I don't know how the date went. I was like, okay, I didn't know. But I hit her up again and asked her if she wanted to go somewhere else. And she said, yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, so.
Did you happen to get to the new first base? And by the new first base, I mean underneath the mask.
No, I didn't. I mean, it was the first date.
Nah.
I try not to do that on the first date. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't.
So
really...
during a pandemic, I feel like we gotta shift the bases. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good point. Yeah. Did you get to what would you even call that? Like, did you get to home plate, or did you get to?
No. That's the new first base, because I feel like that's like the first. Yeah, that's the first step, and then you got the second base, you got third base, and then you got the home. That's where you score.
But I mean, that's true. You gotta come up with these new times.
Yeah, man. But I'm glad that went well, assuming that there is a second date.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah, unless she's just really hungry and she just wants to eat more. You know what I mean.
I mean,
could be that too.
Yeah, that could be the case too.
Yeah, yeah. It could also be that too. You know what I mean?
It's hard times out here.
Yeah, like I get it's rough out here. Pandemic hit people. Some people out of work. Yeah.
And speaking of poverty, did you want to get into the Hillbilly Ellergy review?
Elegy, Hillbilly Ellergy. Yes. So. Hillbilly Ellergy is a movie inspired by a book written by J.D. Vance. It's it says it's inspired by a true story, which means that probably 90% of it probably never really happened. So that's Hollywood speak for, you know what I mean. We're just kind of making it up mostly as we go along, you know what I mean. Don't worry about it too much. Don't stress it. I mean, you're not gonna read the book anyway, so don't worry about it. You know what I mean. So it's based, the story of like this guy J.D. Vance, who Appalachian values of his Kentucky family and his relation to these social problems, hometown of Middleton, Ohio. And so Amy Adams plays his mother. Glenn Close plays his grandmother in the film. In the film, it deals very much of like, you know, just the issues that he faced growing up and how much he overcame them to become this hugely successful, you know, a person who went to Yale Law School and overcame all these things. And currently, the guy in real life, I believe he is a millionaire. Does a lot of, you know, speaking engagements, things like that. You know, goes around talking about, you know, how much of, you know, hey, if I made it, anybody can make it. Very much that type of person. You know, I've come from these, you know, tough beginnings. Say anybody can do it. So, you know, he's kind of one of those people that give people like the pull yourself up by the bootstraps type of, you know, ideology, examples of, you know, those type of people. So and then review wise, this movie's kind of getting just absolutely lambasted. I mean, it's just getting totally, a lot of critics. I mean, it's currently at like, I think last time I checked, 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. So a lot of critics are just absolutely going after this film, saying 25%. Okay. Saying it's one of the worst movies of 2020. Saying how it is the definitive Oscar bait type movie that just fails miserably. But you know, I mean, you know, we come in here with our own thoughts, own opinions. You know what I mean? We're better than your average critic. So, you know, watching this movie, which we were kind of going back and forth whether or not to review it, you know, deciding. So I just ended up watching it. I was up early this morning and I had watched everything else. So I was just like, okay, fine, I'll just put it on, see what it is, see how much I like it. And going through the movie, it's the best way I could describe it is it's just stuff happening. Like it's you know, it's this like, because it starts the beginning of him when he's you know, you see him when he's a kid, you see him how he has his mother and Amy Adams, and how much she just flips on a dime. Like it's almost like you can't even take it almost that much seriously, because if the movie maybe said like, okay, maybe the woman suffered like some type of mental illness, maybe she was, you know, bipolar, had schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, you know, something like that, you could, you know, that would have been more reasonable. But I mean, so far as you just see Amy Adams, I mean, she's somebody who suffers from really bad addiction. And there's moments where, you know, her and the kid, they're cool together and they're laughing, and all of a sudden it just switches and she's just screaming at him and yelling at him and telling him he's worthless and how much, you know, she, you know, like the kids messed up her life, and then she goes to hitting the kids, and it just out of nowhere. It's like there could be a scene where they're painting Easter eggs together, and all of a sudden, you know, her cop boyfriend comes in, brings the dog that got lost, and then the dog starts running around the house, and then accidentally, when they're chasing the dog, the kid and he's chasing the dog hits the table, and then she absolutely just flips on a dime just like that and starts screaming at him. Just it's just that quick, and it's almost comical. Like you can't even almost take it almost that seriously because it happens so fast. There's no real good lead up or build up to any of these scenes or anything that's happening, and there's tons of moments in this movie that feel like, you know, hey, give her the Oscar moments. I mean, there's tons, like with Amy Adams, like there's a scene where she's just out in the street, you know, screaming, you know, just yelling right in the middle of the street in the film. Totally feels like, you know, like, hey, look, you know, look at her, you know, how great she is at acting. Look at her, you know, do these really, you know, dramatic things. And then Glenn Close, who plays the grandmother character. I mean, she's somebody I did like in the movie. You know what I mean? And they, you know, she's in a lot of makeup. I know, like, Glenn Close doesn't look that haggard, and her titties is not that long. So, you know, they do a good job makeup wise, you know, with her and everything like that, really making her, you know, look like, because they call her Meemaw, and like, yeah, she's the definition of what you imagine when you hear Meemaw. And I did like her performance in it. I mean, I liked Amy Adams' performance. I mean, I don't think the performance is necessarily bad. It's just the writing is just awful. It's just generic, flat kind of writing with kind of bland direction, and this is directed by Ron Howard. It's just very flat direction, flat writing. When you see the older versions of him, like when you see him when he's in law school, the kid, they do a good job at the actors in the movie looking like their younger counterparts. Like when you see the younger version of him and the older version of him, they look very similar. They look almost like they could really be, very, very much the same person, which was very much appreciated. The woman who plays the daughter of Amy Adams, and who's the sister of the main character of J.D. Vance, Haley Bennett, they do some movie magic because they can make her simultaneously look 14, 15, kind of like in her late teens, and then also make her look like she's somebody who's in her 30s, you know what I mean, a soccer mom, which is amazing, like how they be able to do that in this film. I think she does, a fine job, but it's just, it's so like, you can tell it's trying to really force the emotion and force the pulling of the heartstrings, and it just doesn't ever come off as genuine. It doesn't ever come off as something that, feels like this is done in a way that feels very well written or well done at all. And that's the biggest thing about this. It's just, it feels so kind of paint by numbers, kind of like Oscar bait, Oscar type film, with you have this cast of Oscar nominees, Oscar winner. You have this kind of sad story of the parents struggling with addiction, and they're the abusive parent, and the kid trying to overcome these adversities, and it just kind of feels all so cliche with no real. And there's ways you could do a cliche movie and overcome those cliches and make them very much something that is very relatable and something that is very well done. I mean, there's plenty of times you can do that. Watching it, just them constantly kind of, going from big dramatic scene to another dramatic scene, because that's when I say the stuff just happens. It's like just these big dramatic moments with no lead up, how you're seeing the older version of the character, and then how you're seeing the prequels, the flashbacks, happen when it shows the younger version of him going through all this type of abuse and of his home life with his mother, when he's with his grandmother, and them living in this house, and him going through, you see the flashbacks showing his life growing up, and it's constantly just so many flashbacks and going back in flashbacks. It's just hard to maintain the story. They feel jarring at points, which completely just kind of tears up the whole narrative of the film. And there's also narration in the film from the main character, from the guy, J.D. Vance. It's very little. It's some at the beginning, and then a little bit in the middle, a little bit at the end. It's not a whole lot throughout the film. It's nothing like The Devil All the Time, where it's narration majority throughout the film. It comes in and out. The narration doesn't really do much to add into the film. It's basic, obvious observations that the audience can already infer from just watching the movie. Having said all that, my final rating for it, I would give it a maybe 4 or 5 out of 10, strong 4, light 5 out of 10. There's some decent performances in it, but overall, all the actors are failed by a terrible script, bad direction, and story that is completely generic, and something that feels like they should have been left on the Hallmark Channel.
Damn.
Yeah, so that'd be alright. Do you guys have any questions about it at all?
Nah. As soon as you said it was on it should have been on the Hallmark Channel, I was just like, damn.
It's like, God damn.
I mean, it feels like some Lifetime movie type shit. You know what I mean? Like, damn. It does feel like that, and it's. I mean, you got a lot of talent when it comes to the actors in this. Ron Howard, Ron Howard is kind of, as a director, I'm kind of, I mean, I think he's missed more often than he's hit.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys where when he hits, it's like some of the best movies ever. But when he misses, it is tragic.
Yeah, because I mean, I like Frost Nixon. I really like a lot. He did.
Yeah, I love Frost Nixon. I love Apollo 13. I even really like Solo.
Okay, I don't like Solo. I'm not with you there. But one movie I really like is still my favorite of his, Rush, which was that movie with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah.
And who was that other guy? Daniel Bruhl. Where they played the real life race car drivers. That still to me is one of my favorite movies he's done. I absolutely really enjoyed that movie. Really great movie. So, but most of his catalog is, for me it's kind of misses. Like the Da Vinci Code. Not really a big fan of the Da Vinci Code. Beautiful Mind.
You're a hater, bro.
Well, okay. I guess slap a label on me. I'm a fucking hater, then. He did The Dilemma with Kevin James and Vince Vaughn. Because sometimes he can do like kind of like a very workman-like direction, and it feels like, hey, we need the movie to be done. Studio, they call up Ron Howard. He's a professional, like Solo, a Star Wars story. Like that movie was going through tons of directors, constantly going in and out of the project, and then I guess they just called up Ron Howard. It's like, hey man, listen, we got this movie, we need somebody to come and direct it. Will you do it? And he's like, okay, sure, I guess. And then, that's how you get a Solo, a Star Wars story. It just feels very workman-like, that hey, we need a guy to come in and do this, and he did it. There you go. So I think for me, I think he's, I'm kind of iffy on him as a director. But like I said, when he hits, he does hit for me. Like with Frost Nixon, like with Rush, Cinderella Man, when he does hit very well. All right, so moving on from discussing Hillbilly Elegy, we're going to discuss some news real quick. Going to discuss Mads Mikkleson. So it's official. It was a rumor at first, but now it is official. Mads Mikkleson will be replacing Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts 3: Crimes of Grindelwald. This is via CNN. He will be filling in for Johnny Depp in the third Fantastic Beasts movie as the main antagonist, Grindelwald. Quick reactions to the casting news.
Mads Mikkelsen's one of my favorite actors. It's great to see him. It's cool to see him get work. It's cool to see him kind of jump around franchises because he's been in James Bond, he's been in Marvel, he's been in Star Wars, and now he's getting Harry Potter money.
Yeah.
Now Chayse, he's never seen a Harry Potter movie.
Not at all.
No. Which I think is far more egregious than me never seeing an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. But
no, they are on the same level, motherfucker.
No, they are not even close.
That's
bro.
far
They're
more
not
egregious.
even close.
They
are not even close. SpongeBob has way more influence.
Harry Potter, incredibly huge movie franchise.
Besides, Harry Potter's like my ace and Never Have I Ever. So, and I can get away with it because I vicariously know all the references. Meanwhile, you don't know any SpongeBob references.
You didn't know you said you didn't know the references.
I do know some of the references. Like the like the houses or whatever, like Gryffindor and Hufflepuff.
Okay.
This one chick told me I was a Hufflepuff. I thought that was a slur or something.
Wow.
I know what a Muggle is because that's apparently what I am, and I'm cool with it. I'm happy with it. Fuck J.K. Rowling. Heard it here first.
Right.
So yeah, I don't regret not ever being in the Harry Potter fan.
I mean, I get SpongeBob references. I get that.
Do you? Name one SpongeBob reference that you comprehend without context.
Like when people do the whole invisible car thing. Like, I get that because it was the superheroes that were on the show. Like,
okay.
Yeah. What were their names?
Barnacle Boy and I don't know what was the old motherfucker, Captain Starfish or some shit like that. Who was the old motherfucker? I don't know who the old guy was. What was his name?
Bro, Captain Starfish, bro.
I don't know. What was his
Mermaid Man and
Barnacle Boy.
All right. Well, at least I got one of them. There you go. But I get some of the references, the memes, all that stuff.
Man, I don't know, man. My mom thought Harry Potter was demonic. I just never got into it. All right, she wouldn't let me get into it. And as an adult, I just haven't seen any excuse to watch it because J.K. Rowling keeps giving me excuses not to.
True.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
And these new movies are not very good. These Fantastic Beasts movies. I thought the first one was decent. I thought it was okay. The second one I thought was just outright bad. I thought that was the worst of these.
Oh yeah.
Was it?
We said.
Wasn't he in the original one?
Mads Mikkleson?
No.
Yeah, because
he wasn't.
I remember you guys.
It was like a third act twist that the main villain of Fantastic Beasts was Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. That was like the main reveal at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the movie came out and it was kind of ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought we talked about last week. Johnny Depp's character transformed into Johnny Depp or something like that.
Yeah, it was like Colin Farrell. He then transformed into
Colin
Johnny
Farrell.
Depp.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just bring back Colin Farrell?
Well,
he's busy with Batman.
Because,
true.
His scheduling.
Actually, good movies.
Yeah, his scheduling conflicts with that, so he couldn't come back to do it. So the release date for this new Fantastic Beasts movie is supposed to come out July 15, 2022. And I mean, I like Mads Mikkleson as an actor. Usually when he's in these big franchise type movies, typically
he kind of gets pushed to the side a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't really get to show how great of an actor he is. Like when he was in Rogue One, when he was in Doctor Strange as the main antagonist, I thought that he really didn't show off how great of an actor he really is. Like when you see him in something like Hannibal or the TV series, you get to see how really great he is.
Or even this Danish movie called The Hunt, where he plays a guy accused of pedophilia.
I have to check that out. I've never seen that one. I have to check that out.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Okay, that's a good recommendation. Casino Royale, I thought he did a good job showing his acting ability in that. I thought he was pretty good in that. Casino Royale, I thought he was very good in that James Bond movie. But, now that, Depp is gone, we talked about it before last week a little bit, how we think that the situation, if you're gonna fire Johnny Depp, you gotta fire Amber Heard. It seems like that would seem like the best decision, just to have both sides kind of not be on you, not hound you, just go like, okay, well, listen, we fired both of them. Both of these people are toxic. Let's just get rid of both of them and just recast both of them.
Except they didn't get rid of both of them. Amber Heard's still coming back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what they should have did. But they didn't do that, and they end up just firing one person. That's what I'm saying. That's what we said before last week. That's what they should have did. They should have fired both of them, which they could still do. Possibly, you don't know. They still possibly could do that, but who knows? And I heard Johnny Depp. He tried to repeal the libel case against him, but that got shot down. I read. So yeah.
Just take a break, dude. If you're listening to the podcast, Johnny Depp, just take a break.
Yeah, dude. Take some time. Work on yourself. Work through these issues.
Get some therapy.
Yeah. I think he got a settlement from them letting him go. I think he got like $5 million or something like that.
Yeah, he still got paid his full salary for that apparently one day of shooting that he did for the movie already.
Yeah. So.
Get your money, man.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Go get paid.
Maybe he just needs to sit down for a little bit. Just take a break. Just relax.
They both do. They got issues.
Absolutely. All right. So, moving on from discussing Mads Mikkleson, Johnny Depp news. Two really good actors. We're going to discuss the 25 best actors of the 21st century. So there's this list that came out from New York Times that detailed the best actors of the 21st century, and a lot of notable names in here, that a lot of people recognize. A lot of they got some foreign actors in here. Some I don't really recognize. I'll be honest. I'm an uncultured motherfucker, so I don't recognize some of these foreign actors.
True. Some of the names that stand out that absolutely belong on this list. Some of the highlights are Gael Garcia Bernal from Y Tu Mama Tambien and Bad Education, and I believe he did the voice of the great grandfather character in Coco. You also have Mahershala Ali on the list. You have Song Kang-ho, who is the lead in Parasite, last year's Best Picture winner. Willem goddamn Dafoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My guy.
Who belongs on there. Alfre Woodard, who is amazing. Oscar Isaac, who belongs there. Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, you got a lot.
There are some people that absolutely belong on this list. However,
Viola.
Yeah, Viola Davis.
Now, you want to know when I knew this list was bullshit? So, all right, I'm going down the list, right? The first, like, three, they got me. I was just like, all right, yeah, no, I feel like they know what they're saying. We got a couple of foreign actors to start off. I don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're great. I've seen the name Aquarius run around circles a lot. I've seen the name Y Tu Mama or Tambien. Or I don't know. Y Tu Mama Tambien. I butchered the fuck out of that. I've seen the movie name a lot. And then I saw Mahershala Ali at 23, and I was just like, all right, yeah, that's cool. Then I see number 22, and that's when I knew it was all downhill from there. Melissa motherfucking McCarthy at 22,
so
ahead of Mahershala Ali.
You got some head scratchers here on this list. So you have Melissa McCarthy at 22, who, like Chase said, is above Mahershala Ali.
Wild.
Which, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, sinful.
So I understand, like, if you want to put somebody on the list who's like the best comedic actor of the century, like somebody for comedy's sake, I think somebody better to probably put in her place, somebody who has maybe a better track record with comedy as far as hitting more often. And I like some Melissa McCarthy comedy, like Spy. I do really like. I think Spy is really funny.
Absolutely. Spy is legitimately great.
Yeah.
That movie is amazing.
But as an actor, though, you really think, like, Spy was enough to put her on this list?
No.
Hell no!
But a comedic actor you could have probably maybe put there is maybe like John C. Reilly, because he's got a good catalog. He's got a lot of dramas in his stuff. He's got a lot of comedies in his stuff. Like, he's somebody who is known for his comedic roles, doing like, his movies with Will Ferrell, like Talladega Nights, like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, things like that. So I think he would have been a good addition. You could maybe
on Barry alone, you could have put Bill Hader on the list.
Bill Hader, but movie wise, what has he done? Movie wise.
Because I think this is movie centered.
You could say maybe because he did that movie Trainwreck, which was that Amy Schumer movie, which
I like that movie too.
Yeah, and he was good in that, but that's really been the only movie he's really been mostly kind of the lead in it, sort of. You know what I mean? Even though it was Amy Schumer's movie, but he was the main love interest in that. Most of the stuff he's in, he's been kind of like the side character or a supporting character. But Barry, I haven't seen it. I hear that's a really great show on HBO. I haven't seen it. I've been meaning to check it out. What other like comedic actor, and you think like, let's say female comedic actress that you think could have been in that place, who's got a better track record than Melissa McCarthy?
I could think of a few more TV centered actors, but in terms of movies, like, I don't know. Like that's a fair argument. I'm not gonna lie, because there hasn't really been like an influx of that many great comedies or like that many great comedy actors.
And
in
even
terms of movies,
and even the two that come to mind are either of the girls from Books, the women from Booksmart, Beanie Feldstein or Caitlin Dever. Both of them have more TV background, but they were amazing in that movie, and especially Caitlin Dever, who had, I think, an Emmy nomination for this Netflix series called Unbelievable, and that show was fantastic, and she gives an amazing performance in that. So maybe her, but the only thing that would disqualify her is lack of experience in film. Because to my knowledge, that's the only real project she did, and nobody saw Booksmart until it came to streaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I like Melissa McCarthy, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Not on this list.
You could say
I don't. I saw Life of the Party.
Yeah, not on this list.
Nah, I fucking saw Identity Thief. Hell nah, get her the fuck off of here.
And I like all the people that I'm about to say should not be on this list. But you know,
I'm trying to think. So you could say maybe someone like Tina Fey, but she's mainly known for her writing, not necessarily her acting.
Yeah.
And as an actress, she's kind of. I think she's so as an actress. She's okay. She's so.
Just kind of mid.
What about Emma Stone? Could you maybe see Emma Stone? Maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah. I could
absolutely Emma Stone.
Yeah. Emma Stone. Okay.
Yeah, that would have been a good sub.
She has more range than Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, and I would have been less mad at her being above Mahershala Ali than I would have been with Melissa McCarthy. Because that's just, I feel like that was just egregious, dog.
I feel like this whole article was written by somebody who's trying to get some woke points.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of
strange. Going down the list, somebody I'm happy to see, Rob Morgan, is on the list. Who's becoming anytime I see him in something, I'm like, I know it's gonna be a great performance. Like
he's kind of becoming the new Delroy Lindo in terms of every time you see him, he like elevates everything he's around. And hopefully it doesn't take till like now for him to get the recognition he deserves, like Delroy Lindo did with the Five Bloods. And some of you who are blanking on the character's name, he's in the Marvel Netflix universe as Turk, the arms dealer that keeps showing up in all the shows.
Yeah, he's in that. The first time I think I ever saw him was maybe he was the sheriff who didn't give a fuck about those missing kids and Stranger Things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was the guy, like, you know, like, kids were missing, and everybody's like, oh, we gotta find these kids, you know? We gotta look for them, and he just he doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, well, hey, listen, it's been 48 hours. I mean, you know what that means. I mean, nothing we can do about it. I mean, might as well just give up. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, bro. You really gonna just say, fuck them kids, bro? You don't really care about the kids? Like,
fuck them kids.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you don't care. But
he did.
But I think he only really appeared mainly like, I mean, he had like a small role in the show. He only did like season 1, season 2. He had a small role. He was in Last Black Man in San Francisco. Great movie. We've recommended it before. He plays the father, the main character of that movie. He was in Just Mercy. Really great support role in that movie. When I saw that movie, I thought he should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He was great in that movie. That was the movie with Michael B. Jordan. Someone else who's also on this list, who we'll get to in a minute. That was a really, really good role performance. I thought he killed it. He was also on Mudbound, which is on Netflix. That's a great performance as well. So he's just appeared in more and more stuff. You know what I mean? And anytime he's in something, like Nick said, he just elevates the material anytime he's in it, which is very good. You got William Dafoe, guy, prolific actor, been in tons of movies. His profile is huge. You get why he's on this list. Everybody. I mean, I don't know anybody who doesn't like William Dafoe. I mean, he's a really phenomenal actor. Alfred
and
Woodard.
If you don't like Willem Dafoe, you should just take a stake to the Heart Osborn. Reattack his heart.
Yeah. You know, so he will always be known to a generation of people as Green Goblin. You know what I mean? And he just recently did a great performance in The Lighthouse. Should have been nominated for Best Supporting for that movie as well. I mean, he was great in that movie. But you know, Academy doesn't mess with horror movies like that.
Yep, the Academy hates horror, so Willem Dafoe doesn't get a nomination.
Yeah. So you got 17, Alfre Woodard, legendary actress. You know, has been working for a long time. She's been in tons and tons of movies, tons of TV shows. People don't know she was in Luke Cage. What was her character's name in Luke Cage?
Black Mariah.
Black Mariah. She was in that. She was also in a film which was one of the best films I thought of 2019 called Clemency, where she played a warden of a prison, and it's all about her overseeing this prisoner who's on death row. Very great movie. If anybody's never seen it, very, very good movie. So Alfre Woodard, I get kind of why she's on that list. Let's see who else on here that we can all point and recognize. Michael B. Jordan. Do you think it's too soon to have him on the list? Do you think he's too young? So his body of work. I mean, what do you think?
You know, when I first read it, I was just like, oh, he's up higher than I would have thought he'd be. But when I thought about it, this is the 21st century, right? And you look at his like filmography, like film for film. Compared to some of the people on this list, I do think he does have a case to be here. But I don't necessarily know if he should have been as high as he is. What do you guys think? Because it's like with certain performances, he's like knocking it out the park, like Fruitvale Station. I love him. I love him.
Fruitvale Station, he's amazing there. Creed, he's really great.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been a performance from him where I was thinking, oh my god, this guy is one of the best actors of the century. There's nothing in his filmography that says that to me.
He's like a very good I don't want to call him a role player, but like he's like
he's a very good actor, but I don't know if he like disappears into the characters he plays.
Yeah.
There's never a moment where I see him and I think, oh my god, that's Adonis Creed, that's a Killmonger. I think, oh, that's Michael B. Jordan.
Really? You think that? I mean, when he's Killmonger, I thought he's in Fruitvale Station. I thought he's in Creed. I mean, some people could say he plays similar type roles of kind of like angry young black man type roles. Similarly, I mean, what do you think about that criticism that he typically has those kind of similar type roles a little bit?
Well, I mean, he's starting to stray away from that with like, I mean, you can say what you will about the story or the movie. Just Mercy was a different kind of role for him, where he was kind of more reserved and playing the more intellectual type. But I don't know. I mean, I think he's just a very solid performer. I don't know if I could say he's on this list yet. But I do think in comparison to the people that are on this list, I think he does have a good he has a good argument. But in terms of like overall, if I had to put every actor in a hat and decide which ones was best this century, he'd probably not come up very highly on the list. Because there's a lot of actors that aren't on this list that deserve to be on this list, especially in comparison to certain actors that are on this list.
So, is there anybody you think you would replace him with? I think Yahya would probably be a good placement on there.
Yeah, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, I think he'd be a good stand-in for that.
Because he's really hot. He's done a lot of stuff, from the Get Down, the episode of Black Mirror. He's Black Manta on Aquaman. He was in. He's gonna be in the Candyman horror movie, which you haven't seen.
I don't know if I'd say I don't know if I'd say he's better than.
I think he's had more opportunity to play a more diverse range of characters than Michael B. Jordan has.
That's okay.
Okay, so going down the list a little bit further, and this all list was done by, it seems like it's one guy, A.O. Scott, who did this list. So number 14, you got Oscar Isaac. I think that's a pretty good choice. Oscar Isaac, loved him in Ex Machina. Thought he was really great in that. I didn't see A Most Violent Year. I don't think I ever saw that movie. I did see Inside Llewyn Davis. I thought that was a very good movie about him being a folk singer. I thought that was very good. That was the movie with it was him. It was Justin Timberlake was in it. Another movie with Justin Timberlake has another guy who's fucking his girl. Like, there's something about Justin Timberlake being in movies. There's always somebody dating his partner in the movie for some reason. That's a common theme in the movie. So you have Oscar Isaac here as number 14. Do you all like that? Him number 14?
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
mad
fair.
at it.
That's fair. Like most actors, he's had his fair share of stinkers, like X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah,
and
Star Wars,
recent
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, he's had his fair share of stinkers, but then again, what actor doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just one of those.
Yeah. Tilda Swinton is 13. Understandable. Legendary actress.
Yes.
Huge catalog of great movies she's been in. Prolific. Joaquin Phoenix makes sense.
Yep.
Another actor. Big catalog, a lot of great movies. That makes sense. Julianne Moore, another, makes sense. You know, legendary actress as well. Saoirse Ronan, 10. I think that's kind of high to have her at 10, personally, for me. I know she's like one of the best young actresses working, but I don't know. I think she plays a lot of the same character a lot. Angsty kind of white girl roles.
Yeah. I had the same issue that I had with Michael with her being that high. It's kind of just
a lot of the time she's playing the same character, but I think earlier in her career, like with The Lovely Bones or with Hannah, I feel like that those two movies make a better case for her being on the list than her most recent work. Even though I absolutely adore her recent movies, especially her working with Greta Gerwig. I love Lady Bird, and I really like Little Women.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about Lady Bird as much as other people, or probably Little Women, but I do like those movies. Trust me, I don't hate women. I do enjoy those movies. So I do like them. Brooklyn, I also liked. I did like Brooklyn as well. That was a love story with her and the guy. It's a simple movie, but very, very well done. I thought it's a movie that is kind of very simple because it's about a love story between this girl and this guy, and it is very beautiful. I think the way it's done. So she is one of the best young actresses working right now for sure. Number 9, Viola Davis. Obviously, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Not everybody can snot on demand. That's a talent.
Yeah.
I mean, Jennifer Hudson can.
Oh yeah, she was very that's true.
But
Viola Davis.
But not only be one of the greatest actors, and also be able to snot on demand. I mean,
yes, Viola Davis. There's nothing more we can say. Her resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, she was the only watchable scenes in Suicide Squad.
She made Suicide Squad watchable just by her being there.
Yeah, I feel like that says a lot.
And then some people call her, and she's even said it herself, that some people call her like the Black Meryl Streep, because she's been this black actress who's been on all these high-profile things and has this pedigree, but yet they don't pay her like Meryl Streep, and they don't pay her the same respect as someone like Meryl Streep. And actually, I'm surprised.
Honestly,
I'm not on this list. Actually, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. I mean, yeah.
I haven't liked a Meryl Streep movie since Doubt.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Mostly she's done. Yeah, mostly she's kind of coasted on some.
She's kind of coasted in Oscar baity movies and just taking her Oscar nomination every year whenever it comes by.
Yeah. Let's see. So number 5, Nicole Kidman. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe you could have probably put somebody else there. I mean, Nicole Kidman. I've never really been blown away that much by Nicole Kidman. But, yeah, never really. And for people out there, like, we're skipping over some people because a lot of these are foreign actors that I don't know much of their work. But some I do like. Number 6 was Song Kang-ho, who did. He was in Parasite. Very great in that movie. But that's really only.
He's a very one of the most respected South Korean actors. He's been a lot of stuff like The Host, Snowpiercer, Parasite. Yeah. He's always amazing.
Yeah.
So some of these foreign actors I don't really know, so I can't really comment on them too much, and much of their work and their placement on the list. And this is the big one. So we got the number 4, Keanu Reeves.
It had to have been a setup. They're asking us to roast him, and I don't want to roast Keanu Reeves. It's a nice show.
So the writer.
Sorry, I'm still laughing.
This was his blurb of like when he wrote about the selection of Keanu Reeves on this list. So he said, maybe you're surprised to find Keanu Reeves so high on this list, but ask yourself, have you ever been disappointed when he showed up in a movie? Can you name one film that has not been improved by his presence? We're talking about Ted Logan here, about John Wick. Diane Keaton's also ran love interest in Something's Gotta Give. Ali Wong's also love interest, a guy named Keanu Reeves, and Always Be My Maybe. Surely there is not another movie star who exhibits so much range while remaining so incredibly and inscrutably himself.
I mean, did this man see Knock Knock?
So
I mean, even in the movies that he's describing,
even then, there's like, I'm sorry,
I don't want to do this to you, man.
I mean,
man,
this so like he's conflating people liking Keanu Reeves and liking him being in stuff with him being a legitimately good actor.
I mean,
and he's not a legitimately
we
good
like
actor.
Keanu Reeves because he is a legitimately good person.
Yeah, he's
a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. He's a great dude. But great actor? I mean, Keanu Reeves will tell you that, nah, I'm not a fucking actor, man.
Yeah.
He's a very all right, so he's great at stunts.
Yeah.
When you get into the action scenes, he kills that.
Yeah.
Outside of that scene where he's clutching the dog in John Wick, I feel like that's the most range in terms of acting he's really gotten. I mean, of course you got Bill and Ted where he's just being a goofball, but that's just him having fun.
I remember a long time ago saying that Keanu Reeves, he was one of those actors, I mean, besides Bill and Ted and John Wick, but there is no Keanu Reeves movie that wouldn't be improved with another actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could put somebody else at Neo, and you could argue.
No, I think he was perfect for Neo. I think Neo.
You think so?
Neo, that works. That works for him.
Okay.
Even in not so much the sequels, but
yeah. And I mean, look, Keanu Reeves has been in some classic movies like Point Break, Matrix, Bill and Ted. You know what I mean? He's been in a lot of things people remember, and he's had this resurgence.
I'd say even John Wick is in that category because it's, in my opinion, I feel like, I mean, people say some negative things about the sequels. I still love them.
Yeah, the sequels are awesome, but there's no denying that the first one is the best of the series. And
yeah,
the reason being that Keanu doesn't get a lot of dialogue in the first one.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of the best action films when we talk about it in the future.
Yeah, it's like the Raid Redemption and John Wick are pretty much the two movies that saved the action genre in the mainstream.
Yeah. And like, as much as I love him, man, he's not supposed to be on this list.
No, he's not.
If you want to put like a big action star on this list or somebody like that, I mean, Tom Cruise doing the Mission Impossible movies would maybe be a better option.
Tom Cruise, I think he's more of a movie star and less of an actor.
Yeah.
Because he kind of plays Tom Cruise in everything.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He kind of has the same range as Keanu, to be honest with you.
I think he's a better actor than Keanu Reeves is. Like Tom Cruise, like you look at like Few Good Men, like he's in
more
a lot
charming. Yeah, I'll give him that. He's more charming. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So that was like the big
I would probably end up joining Scientology if I talked to Tom Cruise for an hour.
And he'll definitely convince you to jump out of a plane too.
I mean, Tom said it was okay, so it must be fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm good on that.
I got quite a few actors I could have replaced Keanu with.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, fucking Leo, Christian Bale.
Dude, how did Leo not get on this?
Yeah, I'm surprised Leo's not on this list.
I'm surprised Tom Hardy isn't on this list.
Yeah.
So to finish out the list, so I'm going to finish out the list. I'm going to talk about people who we think should have been on the list real quick. So we got number 3, Daniel Day-Lewis, of course. Guys, legendary actor, probably one of the best actors people consider ever. You know, absolute legend. You know, There Will Be Blood. What's another great movie?
Gangs in New York.
Gangs in New York, My Left Foot. So, I mean, the guy has a great body of work. Like, it's hard to name a bad film he's ever been in. Like, he's usually knocks it out of the park.
9 from the director of Chicago.
Yep, Chicago.
Even Phantom Thread, which was, to me, really meh.
But was he great in that for it?
He was great in that. He was great in that, and I feel like the movie was just kind of really dry and bland. I mean, compared to P.T. Anderson's last two, The Master and There Will Be Blood, it was kind of a step down.
Okay. Number 2 is Elizabeth Hubert. I know of her and some of the stuff she's done. She is a French actress. I believe she was in a movie called Ellie, which was 2016. Legendary actress there. So I know a little bit of her work, but I'm not that super familiar with it myself. But I know she is very much a legend when it comes to acting over there. And number 1, we got my man, Denzel Washington, at number 1. How do you all feel about him being number 1?
I mean, I always feel like whenever like I talk about Denzel Washington, I feel like he's always, there's like a part of me that wants to put him in the same category as like a Tom Cruise is. He's more of a movie star than an actual actor. And then I watch stuff like Training Day or Man on Fire or Flight, even some of his more B-level stuff like The Equalizer. And he's always consistently amazing. He's always giving great performance. And I finally saw Fences the other day, and holy shit, that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Malcolm X, amazing performance in that. And you're right. I mean, at this stage in his career, he mostly just coasts on being Denzel Washington. Sometimes.
Yeah, he could but I think he's a guy who could coast, but he doesn't.
I feel like he's kind of at that Jay-Z level where, like, you sort of sometimes forget to. You kind of sometimes forget to put him on the list sometimes, but like, he's still one of the GOATs. Like, it's no denying.
He's. I think because he did a lot of like lesser Tony Scott movies like Unstoppable or the remake of Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
The Equalizer.
Hey, I dig the shit out of The Equalizer.
Yeah,
those were fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. He's like one of these guys.
Every now and then he gives like a performance that reminds you why he is one of the greats, like Flight or Fences.
Yeah.
It reminds you why he won for Best Actor in a movie where Ethan Hawke was the actual star of it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been disappointed by some things like Roman J. Israel. I was so looking forward to that movie.
Yeah. Especially, that movie
Dan
was
Gilroy.
really disappointing. That was Dan Gilroy's follow-up to Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
And that movie was just kind of meh.
Yeah. So that was a shame. But yeah, I mean, he's got this huge body of work. Legendary actor, done, things like Mo Better Blues when he was working on like Spike Lee, that. He was, Malcolm X. The Devil in the Blue Dress for his work like when he was doing the 90s. Now he's kind of like one of these people who's had this kind of resurgence a little bit more, and he's always really steadily worked. And his movies, I mean, he's one of those movie stars that can still pull in a decent box office, like even with something like an Equalizer, that still does kind of well, probably better than it would have if it didn't star Denzel Washington, because he has so many people who love
even
him.
As you got all your grandma's gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Like that's one of them films where like the whole like church gets together because it's Denzel.
Yeah, they're going.
They go watch it.
They're pulling,
on Monday
pulling
morning.
up. They're pulling up to the movie theater right after a Sunday service.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense why he's so high at number one. So you talk about. So do you all want to talk about people who you think should have been on the list, or some big omissions? We mentioned some throughout. So do you want to go of some big ones that you think the list missed out on?
Okay.
Well,
I think
every TV actor
off the hand. Matthew McConaughey for sure should be on the list just by the McConaissance alone. Leo DiCaprio. I mean, how did you not have him on the list? Toni Collette should definitely be on there.
Yeah. Chase?
Tom Hardy should be on there, but I also understand he kind of got blacklisted after Mad Max Fury Road. Because of
what did he do?
Because there was the very highly publicized feud between him and George Miller. It's why in Fury Road Tom Hardy doesn't get a lot to say or do. It's why it kind of becomes Furiosa's movie.
Okay. And I feel like if we are gonna do actors, I mean, I know that they were gearing it towards movies, but like TV has taken over.
Bryan fucking
this whole
Cranston.
century. Yeah.
So you would have like Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, I'd have Bryan Cranston. I'd have. I mean, even though for the most part I've only seen him in The Boys, you gotta put my boy Anthony Starr somewhere. I mean, he's like sensational.
Yeah, The Boys, Banshee are both great.
But there's a lot of TV actors that aren't on this list that kind of get the shaft because it's TV. It's not a movie. For me at least, Pedro Pascal's up there for me. Not because of Mandalorian, but because of everything he's done before then.
Narcos.
Narcos, Game of Thrones.
Someone I forgot. Christopher goddamn Plummer. How is he not on the list?
Oh, and Jesse Plemons too. I feel like Jesse Plemons would make a lot of people's list.
Yeah.
I don't know about Jesse Plemons. I like him a lot, and I think he's good, but I don't know.
I said he'd make a lot of people's lists. I don't know if I could put him, but in comparison to say Keanu Reeves and Melissa McCarthy, he's on the list. If you're gonna put them there,
Brad Pitt, I'm surprised to not see on this list.
Yeah. I wonder what the thought process was, because like there's like a lot of sleeper picks on here too that I was just kind of like Alfred and Rob. I was just like,
I was kind of cool
to
see.
Yeah, but then they put Melissa McCarthy and Keanu. And it kind of like mixes up the list, and I'm just like, all right, is this a popularity list, or is this like a or is this legit? Because now I'm confused.
I mean, I would say it's a popularity list, but you have a bunch of actors from overseas that not a lot of people know in the mainstream, like Song Kang-ho or Gal Garcia Bernal. So this list is just really confusing. I mean, is this a popularity list, or is this like genuine to see? Yeah, these are this writer's
I get why.
Actors.
Yeah,
I do get why Keanu Reeves and Melissa McCarthy. I do get like having Melissa McCarthy because you need a comedic presence there. Like who's like one you think is one of the definitive comedic presences in the 21st century.
I mean,
I'd go to TV for that.
I'd put Jason Sudeikis over Melissa McCarthy.
Maybe, maybe
because his performances in Run and Colossal, which is an amazing movie.
Yeah, and then I could see Keanu Reeves maybe because who's the best movie star? Like who's the best like guy that you go see because they're in a movie, I'm there to go see it. You know what I mean? Like that big movie star element, and Keanu Reeves does have that. Because even though people know that he's not that strong of an actor, people will go see it because, I mean, there's a reason. I mean, he's having this big, what do you call it? Rejuvenance.
Rejuvenation.
Keanu or whatever. And, with him, John Wick, and he's going to be in the Cyberpunk game, and he's going to be in the SpongeBob movie, and, everybody wants him everywhere and everything now, and he's just hot right now.
Well, Josh, here's my argument for somebody who's not on this list that has the same. I feel like he has the same amount of enthusiasm. Leo, who's a much better actor, and I feel like a lot of people just see his movies just to see him, because they see a Leonardo DiCaprio movie and they're like, all right, it's probably gonna slap. Let me watch this.
and in each one, he's always incredible. Like I'm genuinely sad that Leo won for The Revenant and not for The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's a combination of him and also the directors he works with and the cast he works with.
Leo definitely works with some of the greatest directors ever. Like he's worked with Martin Scorsese, he's worked with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. So some of it's also that, and he's been, he's been famous and a star since he was a kid,
But like, name a miss though. Did he miss?
Yeah. I mean, I would say he's had some misses. I would say.
I'm trying to think of movies
Once Upon
where
a Time
he
in Hollywood
definitively
is just okay. And
that's just okay. It's not
Great
terrible.
Gatsby
it's not
is
bad.
not. In Great Gatsby, it's not that great either.
But I think he still hits on that. Like, in terms of an actor, like, he still had that presence where, all right, like, him as Gatsby was charming. I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But from what I hear, his performance was great. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he misses.
Yeah, it's tough name. I mean, I don't think he's ever been in a bad movie really since he really started his.
No, but I'm not talking about bad movies. I'm just talking about performances where he has missed as a performer.
As a performer, no, he has never missed as a performer. I would say.
What about when he played J. Edgar? Do you think that was a good performance?
I thought it was a good performance. I thought the movie was ass, but it was a good performance.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It was like Clint Eastwood in his like slowly turning senile days, which is still going on, unfortunately.
All right. Any other people, Chayse?
I mean, like, all right. So we are gonna get into some simping territory, but if we did want to replace Melissa McCarthy with a comedic actress, well, the first non-simping territory I would have substituted her with was Jillian Jacobs, and the other one was Aya Cash. If you've seen You're the Worst, you know why. If you've seen The Boys, you know why. If you've seen the movie that came out not too long ago, I can't remember the name of it, where she's telling scary stories. Scare me. You know why. Trying to think who else. But I feel like there should have been more.
Big omission, I think. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like there should have been way more TV actors. Way more TV actors. Because TV's been outshining movies, like, insane.
Yeah, you could
have outshining movies, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have put James Gandolfini. You could have put Peter Dinklage.
Put Bryan Cranston, Lena Headey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The couple from Ozark, they could have been on this list too. I can't remember
Jason
their names
Bateman.
right now.
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Jason Bateman. What's her name that played? There's a lot.
Oh, Laura Linney.
Yeah.
Laura, okay. Matthew Rhys from The Americans.
Perry Mason. Yes.
He's very great. So.
Yeah, he's on Perry Mason, The Americans. He was just in Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I get why like critics are more so movie centric when they come up with these lists, but like come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, how could
you
can't objectively watch TV now and think that there are no great talent that you can't mention in your greatest actors ever list.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
Because I mean, James Gandolfini, basically set up the archetype of the anti-hero that television would go based off of, since Sopranos started till now, basically.
Yeah, he was the first in that. Let's make our lead character the bad guy and make him sympathetic, and a trope that was elevated by Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, him and Michael Chiklis. When he did The Shield, when he played Vic Mackey, like those were two big shows that really did that. You know what I mean? And you had like something like The Wire, like Idris Elba, like he's another big person.
Yeah, The Wire.
Yeah, Idris Elba. I'm surprised Idris Elba is also on this list, but
I think because Idris Elba has had like one too many stinkers.
That's fair. Yeah. That's a fair argument.
Maybe.
I mean, we all saw Cats, right?
Not even just Cats. What was that movie with the tower that was based off of that book?
Oh, the Dark Tower.
Dark Tower.
Yeah, that John.
Yeah. He's had some stinkers. Yeah. But I mean, he's still a great actor. You know, when he's in something great, he's in something great. You know. Mm-hmm. All right. So moving on from discussing that article of the 25 best actors of the 21st century, we're going to discuss The Mandalorian. So newest episode. And it's simply titled The Jedi, and we think we all know what that is in reference to the big reveal that, and I love how they didn't waste any time, because coming into the episode I was like, you know what I bet they're gonna do, I bet they're gonna wait till the very last scene and have her turn around and take off her hood. I bet she's gonna do some shit like that, and
it's gonna be like Mando gets ambushed, they all got him dead to rights. And then out of nowhere, you see two lightsabers ignite. And that was going to be the reveal of Ahsoka Tano. But thank God, they get right into it.
Yeah. First scene of the episode, you see her, lightsabers ignite, and she's, trying to take on this fortress. Another village that has to be saved. It seems like
another goddamn village that needs to be saved.
Yeah, there's always a village of people that need to be saved. Always in these episodes, in Star Wars, there's always a village of people, and it's her trying to break through this fortress that's keeping these people hostage by this oppressive ruler, and it's great to see her, like, she's stalking these people that are trying to protect the fortress, and just cutting them down one by one, and you see like in the mist.
It definitely recontextualizes, like, to the layman of this universe, how terrifying the Jedi would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at least with the first scene, there was a lot of like almost horror like camera work with the. Like I was seeing like a lot of like really fast like push in shots. It reminded me a lot of The Evil Dead, almost.
Yeah. Yeah, she moves like a monster.
Yeah,
like the Predator or something.
Yeah,
it can. Yeah, it can. It's showing off really how ill-equipped most armies are to deal with Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you see her pick off these guards one by one, which was a very great opening scene. One thing I will say about some of the choreography with her, Ahsoka Tano, who's portrayed by Rosario Dawson, who you see her, makeup looks really good.
The makeup looks really good, and especially me, I was like really used to the animation portrayal. I was used to the voice work by Ashley Eckstein, and I didn't even miss a beat with, this is Ahsoka.
Yeah. I felt the same way, because even though I haven't seen Ahsoka since my youth, Rosario, that you killed it. You were Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I bought it as soon as she came on the scene. What were you about to say? Were you about to say something negative?
Yeah, with the choreography.
Yeah, so with the choreography, it just felt kind of a little slow moving, per se. Because when you see Jedis and different stuff, the movement is very fluid. And I'm just maybe it's not fair to compare it to a cartoon necessarily, or maybe to even just the movies, because Jedis, there's times where Jedis can use their super speed, or they can jump really high and move really fast at times. And I know different things. Jedis have all these type of different powers, and they get introduced all these kind of different movies and different comics and different forms of the canon and things like that.
You're used to like a more speed and fluidity with the way they move than what was portrayed here.
Yeah, I mean it's some of the movement
I think a lot of that is owed to like George Lucas's over reliance on CG in the prequels, and more slicker choreography that you get in the sequel trilogy. And even the original trilogy, I don't think the lightsaber fights were filmed all that well. I think they're amazing, but I don't know but they're not on the level of like the Raid or any great sword fight scenes in there. Well, no, but here it makes sense because Ahsoka is much older. She's much older than we've seen her. Even a lot of like the speed criticism, a lot of that was owed to that until like the final episodes of Clone Wars, all of the lightsaber fights were completely CG animated, whereas in like the last season of Clone Wars they did full motion capture when she fought Maul.
I mean, maybe it could be that. Maybe maybe it's the age thing. Maybe it is. They don't want to make it look too sleek and everything like that. But even in the sequel trilogy, I thought they did a good job with the choreography, with the lightsabers and the battle. And they do a very, very good job at the last part of this episode, which we'll get to, of a battle.
I was about to say.
They do.
I was about to bring that up. That was that was easily the best fight scene in the entire show.
In the show, and I would say in like this whole Disney era of Star Wars.
Yeah, I can give you that.
As far as like one-on-one fights.
Yeah, because the emotion, I haven't felt that way.
Yeah, the emotion, the tension.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that. Okay. So we'll talk about the episode. It starts off really great. Opening scene of you seeing Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, which was very, very well done. I thought the way they shot it. And you see, Michael Biehn, who people know from the Terminator movie. He was in the very first Terminator. He was the original Kyle Reese. So I've been, hey, that guy, he's still working, still acting. Good to see him. Was pretty nice. And you see that, okay, so Pedro Pascal, Mando character, finally going to this planet to meet up. He's finally going to meet the Jedi that he's going to pass off the kid to, so this Jedi can teach Baby Yoda the Force. And it's this planet called the Corvus. It's the city, Colden, and the planet is Corvus. So lands on the planet, and he introduces himself to the Morgan Elizabeth, who's the main antagonist of the episode, who's played by Diana Lee. And
Diana Lee Inosanto, she's mostly a stunt performer. She's done stunt work on Alita Battle Angel, on Spy, on Banshee. Very long stunt career.
Yeah. Very little dialogue, which is great. You know what I mean? For someone like who's mostly known for stunt work, everything like that, not really known for acting too much. They give her, just little dialogue here and there stuff, not too much, not too heavy. But Mando comes there with the kid, says that, he'll help out, that as long as, they'll do a job for him, and that is helping kill the Jedi that they're threatened of Ahsoka Tano coming into this village and helping kind of free this village from their oppressive rule, who's ruled by Morgan Elizabeth. And the payment that Morgan Elizabeth was going to give to Mando in exchange for killing the Jedi Ahsoka Tano was pure Baskin
staff made of pure Beskar
armor, Beskar metal, which I didn't know that Beskar armor withstanded lightsabers. I didn't know that.
I mean,
into the episode,
it was one of those things where if you kind of like were unfamiliar with Star Wars and you were just thinking, wait, how were the Mandalorians ever even a threat to the Jedi? And it kind of makes sense that their armor, they can't cut through their armor with lightsabers. So that kind of made it a little more credible.
Yeah. So that was something. So I did not know coming into it. I wasn't sure of coming into it. So she's offering him a pure, like a staff made of pure Beskar armor, in order to track down Jedi and to kill her. But of course, we know he needs her for the information. And we see him taking the baby to Ahsoka Tano, and then that's the big thing everybody wanted to see. And we're over halfway. This is the 5th episode. We got 3 more episodes left. Do you all think Ahsoka Tano is going to come back, possibly?
I think so.
I mean, this show kind of is just setting her up to get a spin-off.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said. A lot of people said possibly spin-off, especially something that gets revealed towards the end of the episode.
Because it's revealed that Ahsoka, she's tracking down another expanded universe character that got brought over into Rebels, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Yeah,
who's got a lot of material, and I hear his books are very, very good. Like the Star Wars, there's tons of Star Wars comics, books on him. He has a good fan base of people who really love his character. I hear he's very, very good when it comes to the comics and the books. I've only ever seen him in Rebels, and he's very good in Rebels. Very good villain, very good threat. He was somebody that people were calling for to be in the movies, in the sequel trilogy a lot. I would, if they do a spinoff of Ahsoka Tano and they try to bring him in there, I would like to see maybe that possibly happen, and see him be live action. When we see her train with Baby Yoda, connecting with the Force, we learn of his true name. So it's not Baby Yoda, even though everybody's gonna still call him Baby Yoda regardless. Nobody's gonna call him, you know what I mean? So turns out the Baby Yoda's name is Grogu. Grogu. And it's nobody's gonna call him that. People's gonna call him Baby Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda.
Yeah, nobody's gonna call him Gaga, Goo Goo Gaga, Groot, or whatever the fuck his new name is. It's like, bro, you're Baby Yoda. It's already been deemed. It's already happened. People already made T-shirts.
It is decided.
It's a done deal.
This is the way.
This is the way.
It's a done deal.
It's kind of like with Mando, because like nobody calls Jin Jin.
Nobody calls him Din Djarin. He is Mando.
Yeah, man. People just call him Mandy, Mando. Yeah, so, that's nice that you got a name and all, but we still calling you Baby Yoda. That's just what it is. And she tells his whole history of he was raised on Jedi Temple, on Coruscant, trained by Jedi Masters, and then after the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Empire, that's when somebody took him and ran and brought him to safety. So So she gives her whole story of Baby Yoda and his backstory and everything like that. Do you like the name reveal? Because, I mean, did you really think you needed the name for Baby Yoda or no? Or were you happy?
I mean, the name reveal kind of feels inconsequential.
Because what's really important is how he got away from the planet before Order 66 was...
Coruscant,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that's going to be the bigger mystery surrounding his character. Is he was raised in the Jedi Temple. How the fuck did he survive Order 66?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe something else is going to connect there. Maybe another spinoff series. Maybe another thing they can reveal later on. I don't know.
I think what's probably best is, since this is, I think now, kind of just the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda story, I think it's best that we learn all these things throughout the course of their journey together. Because I think Ahsoka was kind of setting up for that to be the case too, because she often said like, hey, he looks to you like you're his dad, like there's nothing that could really help on that. He has too much of a familiar connection with you. Yeah,
and it's why she initially refuses to train him, because he has that really strong emotional connection with Mando, and she witnessed firsthand what having those emotional ties did to Anakin.
Yeah, and she's just like, nah. You're giving me PTSD. Nah.
and unlike in the later movies, like with Yoda refusing to train Luke, it makes more sense here.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get your perspective on that. Yeah. Chase, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, her whole storyline is basically kind of her slowly becoming more jaded about the Jedi Order. So it makes sense.
Yeah, her realizing the flaws with the Jedi Order as it is being run by the Republic and by Palpatine.
Well, so her being a character who you see grow throughout the animated series from Clone Wars to Rebels, her growth as a character, that's what a lot of people love, is her being this wide-eyed Padawan to becoming now this kind of jaded Jedi Knight, Jedi Master now. That path she goes on, and her refusing to train Baby Yoda because she says he has such a strong connection to Mando, and that he has such a strong connection that it will cloud his ability to learn the Force, and he'll be easy to turn. But the thing is with that, her being some person who now learns the flaws of the Jedi and the situations, the ideology of Jedi is a completely flawed logic and ideology, because it's like what Yoda says in something like the prequels, was just like, hate leads to suffering, and then love leads to pain, and all these other things. Like, Jedis are not allowed to feel these regular emotions and not form these attachments almost. It's like, well, don't you ever think like that's really the downside of why they weren't like that led Anakin to doing the things that he did, and was because he wasn't allowed to express himself, because he wasn't allowed to have these type of emotions.
Well, I think a lot of it might be Ahsoka's lack of perspective, because I don't know if she is aware of Anakin's marriage to Padme. I don't know if she knew about it. Like, I'm struggling to remember if like there were hints like she knew, and she knew that's why he eventually became Darth Vader.
And I also think the Jedi philosophy is very much based off of the Buddhist concept.
And I think Ahsoka, because the last time she saw Anakin was as Darth Vader, and that whole big confrontation. So I don't know if like she's maybe blaming herself for like how he turned out.
That too, and also what I thought about while she was saying that, it was just kind of like, all right, Mando is a bounty hunter, a Mandalorian at that.
Yeah.
There is a much higher risk for his life, and Baby Yoda going crazy because of his inevitable demise. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not just that, okay, Baby Yoda has a familiar tie, but it's a familial tie that is in harm's way every single day. So, you know, living this lifestyle, I feel like, and, you know, having a loved one that is in that lifestyle is not good for the mental health.
I mean, but that's the thing about teaching a Jedi how to control their emotions, how to harness their emotions, how to
there's a reason the Jedi Order like essentially took children and raised them in that order.
Yeah, but you gotta also take into account that the kid is, even though he's a part of a species that matures slowly, he is 50.
Yeah, and you get the sense that he's a lot wiser than he's letting on in like his interaction with Ahsoka. Because there's not a lot of dialogue. There's no dialogue between them at all. It's mostly them communicating through the Force.
Yeah.
It's them mostly just basically communicating via the Force, telepathy type situation via that way.
And what I mean by like he's 50, there's also, because he's 50, there is a chance for him to be sort of stuck in his ways mentally, and stuck into certain bad habits. So maybe that's what she saw as well.
Maybe. They train. She trains him for a little bit and says she can't, have the training, that he has to go somewhere else. During the final time before she tells him where the exact place he has to go, they team up to take on the fortress, to free the village of the ruler there. Another free the village type situation. This is what, the 10th village he's freed.
But it's like the best one though, by far.
Yeah, I think
this is definitely the best of the whole Free the Village episodes.
I would say this episode, for me, I think is the best episode, one of the best episodes of the series, not only of this season, but I think of the series.
I would agree with that too.
Yeah, it's up there. Very great scene when they take on the fortress. You see Ahsoka Tano running up on the wall. You see her taking out the guards. You see Mando come out of nowhere, and then he knocks out a few people, infiltrating. So I thought that was a very good action scene, very, very well done. I think Dave Filoni, who wrote and directed this episode, definitely made up for the episode he did with Bobby Cannavale's son. That episode, I thought that was like one of the worst episodes of season 1, and he definitely made up for that with this episode. I thought this was very, very good. And the thing we mentioned before, the big lightsaber battle, well, not lightsaber battle, but mostly just a fight that Ahsoka Tano had with the ruler there. Very good sequence. Thought it was very well done. The choreography was really nice. Very, very good. And like you said, the big reveal that she's looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn. So do you think that's going to be the key for the spinoff, if they do decide to do a spinoff, is going to be her in search of Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Well, that could be like the spin-off for her show. It could also be like the main overarching villain for Mandalorian, because at least in the Legends canon, Thrawn was very much the de facto emperor after the fall of Palpatine.
Yeah, I'd much rather that story thread be resolved in Mando down the line than a spin-off series, to be honest.
Also, if they ever wanted to get rid of Moff Gideon, if he's ever taken out in this series, you could have Thrawn be, he's much scarier than Gideon ever was.
Yeah, this is who Gideon reported to.
Yeah, somebody above him. So I would. Who would be your pick to play a live action Admiral Thrawn?
Ideally, I'd say a Michael Fassbender or a Mads Mikkleson type.
Mads Mikkleson type. Some people saying maybe Benedict Cumberbatch, maybe. He, you know what I mean? Maybe get him. I'm trying to think of who would best be somebody who really would encompass the character very well, and somebody who would be you could see definitely coming on the show, especially for multiple episodes, who has that time to come on for multiple episodes to do is not too busy doing.
Oh wait, yeah, because Thrawn, he's not a character like Vader or Palpatine, because he's a more charming character. He's a more intellectual character. He values like strategy and loyalty among his subordinates more than Darth Vader does.
You know what I could see, and you kind of brought this to my attention by bringing up Mads. Mads' brother, who actually played Thrawn.
Oh, who did the voice of Thrawn on Rebels?
Yeah, if he wanted to, he could do what they did with Bo-Katan, where he just reprises the role, because pretty much looks like the character.
Really?
Ooh. Yeah, because it's not like Rob Paulson or Maurice LaMarche type, where you can never have their characters have them reprise that role in live action. He's like a really a tall, kind of like menacing looking guy in real life.
I'm looking at
I could see it.
Some list here. Some people have Jason Isaacs.
That's a great call. He's always playing those second tier villains.
Yeah, he was Lucius Malfoy, Harry Potter series. Some people
he was great in the very short-lived NBC series called Awake.
Okay. On this list, I see they have Lars Mikkleson as well. Sterling K. Brown is on this list. Tom Hiddleston, Hugh Laurie, Sacha Baron Cohen, Eva Green is on this list. Okay, that's a left field choice. I could see Jason Isaacs. That's somebody I think you could get. Somebody who is a very good actor. And then you got to think an actor who would be willing to sit in the makeup chair for hours upon hours to get all that makeup on them to do.
Ooh, someone I just thought about, Michael C. Hall.
Oh, that would be a good. Yeah, Michael C. Hall. Yeah, but you think he'd be, because they're doing a reboot of Dexter, so I don't know if he'll have. I mean, you think?
That's only 10 episodes.
Okay.
That's only 10 episodes. He hasn't really been that much in. He hasn't worked as much in higher profile stuff, so I feel like he'd be willing to come and play in the Star Wars universe for like the right role, because he's played around in geek properties before. He did the voice of Batman in Justice League Gods and Monsters, so he's at least willing to consider playing around in geek properties.
Yeah, get that Star Wars money, my guy.
yeah, that'd be a good option. Yeah. So at the end of the episode, she tells Mando that he would have to take the child to Thon, where it's just like the ruins of this old temple, and there would be a Jedi there that would be probably there to train.
You like place him on the rock and let him call out to the Force, and then a Jedi might come by.
Yeah, like they'll sense his presence. So I was looking at some videos. Some people were saying that possibly it could be the thing, because at the end of Rebels, spoiler alert if you have never seen Rebels, there's a situation where Admiral Thrawn and Ezra, who's the lead character of Rebels, they kind of get taken into hyperspace. Like Admiral Thrawn just, he's on an Imperial spaceship and he goes into hyperspace, and that's the last time you've ever seen them. And then Ahsoka Tano teams up with Sabine Wren to go on like a search for Ezra. So some people are speculating that she's telling him to go to this temple in order to like be this beacon that will lead Ezra back to civilization, back to like somewhere where he can find home again. What do you think about that theory at all? Possibly. Hello?
I mean,
I haven't finished So
I've only seen the first episode of Rebels, so I can't really speak to that. But it makes sense if Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn in the current timeline, and the way that the magistrate of this village was talking, it sounds like he's like alive and well somewhere out in the galaxy. So it makes sense that she would send him to potentially look for Ezra. And there's also like a lot of other Jedi characters that could potentially come find Baby Yoda. There's the potential for a younger Luke Skywalker to come around. There's like I mentioned last week, Cal Kestis from the Fallen Order game.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that possibly like he could also come around as well.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. So final ratings for this episode.
I give it for me, I give it a 10 because it gave me everything that I wanted out of this season. As soon as they mentioned that Ahsoka Tano was going to be in it, I was grinning ear to ear the whole entire time. The fight scene at the end where she was dueling. Did they even say who the magistrate's name was?
Yeah, I said it in the review.
Blanking on the name.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name, but it was a good fight scene.
Yeah, Morgan Elizabeth.
And
Morgan Elspeth is the character's name.
Okay. Yeah. It was a generally good fight scene, and when Mando and the sort of like ex-military guy were talking.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the episode. It was like that whole like interplay between them. It's like these two guys who know they're the baddest in the room. Wait, so who do you think's gonna win?
It was like
that whole like casual conversation. Look, you and I both know there are causes worth dying for. This ain't it.
It was like,
but then there
like
was like a brief
movie.
Moment. Yeah, they shot it like a samurai movie.
Yeah, it's
samurai
like,
movie and
it's
a
shot like
movie.
A samurai movie. It's shot like a old western, which this show is very much cribbing a lot of old west tropes, and they introduced samurai tropes with the introduction of Ahsoka, which was the inspiration for the Jedi.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing, and like while they were talking, I was kind of just like, wait, there is a chance Ahsoka could get mortally wounded here.
Yeah, and
because like she's not, you know,
it's a really well done fight scene because there's not a case where Ahsoka is so much better at combat than this woman is. It's like they're toe to toe for a while.
Yeah, and like for a brief second there, I was just like, wait, there's no way. Is she gonna die? Are they gonna kill her?
I was like, am I gonna be right?
Are they gonna hurt my feelings right as soon as they introduce her?
Yeah.
And you know, for a brief moment there, I was just like, all right, I wouldn't really put it past them. And I thought that was well done. There was some high stakes right there, my guy.
Come on, this is Disney. You really think they're gonna kill like potentially one of their biggest name characters in the first episode? This ain't George R. R. Yeah, Disney is not George R. R. Martin.
But they almost had me there. Because while the conversation was going, it was just too comfortable.
Yeah,
there's like an eerie feeling to it, and I liked it. That was like one of the first times in a long time with a Star Wars property where I was on the edge of my seat, just like, yo, wait, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. So you give it a
10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10. Nick, what about
you? Definitely 9.5 out of 10 for me. A great reintroduction to Ahsoka Tano for Rebels and Clone Wars fans. This Rosario Dawson, she melds seamlessly into this role, especially because I was a little worried because I was so used to how Ashley Eckstein portrayed her and how she was doing the voice for so long. Some of the reveals with Baby Yoda, I could take or leave him. It's like inconsequential to what's going on. Criticism this episode, even though it's bringing up one of the biggest threads of the season, which is the introduction of Ahsoka, it still kind of felt like you go here and now you get another quest to do something else. It kind of fell back into that formula that was one of my criticisms of this season and this show as a whole. And it kind of feels like Dave Filoni's really trying to sell an Ahsoka Tano spin-off series. And also, if I didn't know anything about Ahsoka Tano, I wouldn't have learned anything in this episode. It's like, for casual Star Wars fans, this is like a prompt to, hey, go watch Rebels and Clone Wars.
I guess. Yeah.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Love the direction of this episode. Dave Filoni, I mean, these are, this is his character.
Ahsoka Tano is his baby.
Yeah, so this was perfect for him to do. It's another kind of save the village type thing. Another, quest type of thing again, getting information to go to another place to do another thing. It's more of that again. But love the action of it. Love the introduction of Ahsoka Tano. Rosario Dawson did a good job, with the character. I think it's an episode I would love to see again. You know what I mean? Or just at least see that first part again. Very, very good introduction.
And more Star Wars directors take cues from that episode.
Yeah, very much so. I thought it was very, very well done. So solid 9 out of 10 for me. All right, so moving on from discussing The Mandalorian, we're going to discuss Lego, the Star Wars Holiday Special, which is on Disney Plus. It is them basically doing the Lifeday special again. It's I don't know. I've never actually ever seen the original Star Wars Holiday Special. Have any of you?
No.
I remember.
I have never seen the original Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah, I heard it's some of the worst things ever put to film. Some people say.
And this is after the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is something really, really rough. I've never actually seen the original one myself.
Yep.
I don't even.
I've never seen it, so I can't really speak on that.
Yeah.
I don't even think they put it on like the reruns for like ABC's, like Christmas specials.
No, after it came out and there was just so much hate for it, it disappeared.
Yeah. I do remember seeing it a very long time ago, though.
Yeah, George Lucas has tried to bury it, burn every copy of it. He hates it. He just completely blanks that out. He's like, that never happened. That never existed. No, there's no such thing. But with this one, the Lego Star Wars Special, so it's all about Rey, who's trying to learn to become a better Jedi Master, to Finn, trying to train Finn to become a Jedi. Opens up with, again, him being black and screaming and yelling.
Whoa!
He wasn't doing it as much as in The Rise of Skywalker.
All of the movies. You could say all of them. You could say the entire sequel trilogy.
He wasn't just screaming,
Right! This was easily the best character development that Finn has gotten.
It's the most he's gotten to do in 3 almost 2.5 hour movies.
Well, alright, so I give him a pass on Force Awakens because his character development was alright in that movie. It's just that with The Last Jedi, he takes a full reset, so it's just like he's basically restarting it again as the coward.
Yeah, and when you read the scripts that they wanted to intend to do for the character and everything like that makes it hurt even worse about like all these plans they had for the character and all what they wanted to do and all these kind of drafts and stuff like that. That just makes it even worse, Wow.
I haven't read any of those, but I mean, at least with this, he's like practicing to be a Jedi, which made me feel good.
Yeah, so she's trying to learn to become a better Jedi Master for him. So she goes to the Jedi Temple and then finds this artifact, this object that allows her to travel through time. So she's like, well, I'll go through back in history and look at all the other Jedi Masters who've trained their students, and I'll learn to become a better one. And then, meanwhile, you have Poe Dameron, who's setting up for Lifeday, trying to get all the decorations together. So she's trying to do this and make a mad race back to the ship in order for Lifeday and everything like that. The people none of majority of people from the sequel trilogy are not here. Like Rey, Daisy Ridley is not voicing Rey. You immediately hear that in the voice that it's not the same person. John Boyega is not voicing Finn. Oscar Isaac is not voicing Poe Dameron.
The one person who did come back was Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran. She had the time. She had the time that day, and she was like, "Sure, why not?" You know what I mean? I'll come in. I'll voice it. So she's in here. She's Rose. You have Anthony Daniels, who's C-3PO. You got Billy D. Williams, who's in here as Lando Calrissian. So those are kind of the big people from the trilogy that have come and did this. But everybody else, none of it's from the sequel trilogy, none of from the original trilogy. It's just mainly totally new people there. So I will say this movie is, I think the best way to describe it is it's cute.
Yeah.
It's something very short. It's only like 40 something minutes.
This is essentially just one of the direct-to-video Lego movies just brought to Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yep. That's just what it is. It's something that I think you could watch with your kids, and it's not so kiddie that it's annoying or anything like that. I think there's some good chuckle-worthy jokes in here.
There's some. Yeah, I think the best jokes in this are with the Emperor, who is consistently the best thing about Star Wars.
Yeah. The Emperor in this reminded me a lot of I don't know if you all have ever seen the Star Wars Robot Chicken specials.
Oh, yes. It reminded me a lot of Seth MacFarlane's The Emperor.
Like, if you ever watched those are very fun. I rewatch those every year, especially May 4th. For May 4th, May the 4th be with you. Like, I rewatch those specials all the time because they're just so funny. And Seth MacFarlane does a hilarious Emperor. If you've ever seen him, hear him do the Emperor, very, very funny. So it reminded me a little bit of that performance. The person who is voicing the Emperor, I thought he seemed like he was aping a little bit of Seth MacFarlane as the Emperor from those specials. But I think he's funny. There's some good chuckle-worthy jokes in here. They make a lot of references because it's her going throughout the time of these movies. So it makes a lot of references and jokes to Star Wars lore in the movies.
Yeah, you get a lot of callbacks and references to essentially the greatest hits of Star Wars. You have actors who did the voices in like Clone Wars and Rebels come back to do voices here, like Matt Lanter and James Arnold Taylor. They come back to voice Anakin and Obi-Wan respectively.
Yeah. They reference a lot of like the memes, like they do the Obi-Wan Kenobi hello there, which was like a big meme. They do that one. That was a funny moment. They do the
Han shot first joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They do that. So they do a lot of those jokes that are, that's like, okay, that's good for a chuckle or two, which is fine.
They bring back bisected Darth Maul for a moment.
Yeah. So they do a lot of little things like that. It's not something on the level of like Lego Batman, where you watch Lego
not
Batman.
even close.
You watch that,
but it's not trying to. It's really not trying to be though.
Yeah, it's not trying to be. This is not the Lego Batman or even the Lego movie. Yeah. I don't even think it's on the second Lego movie. But this is very fun. It's very cute. It's a great nostalgia trip. It's great to watch with your kids.
And it almost made the sequel trilogy relevant. Worth watching.
But when I bring up the Lego Batman, just in terms of like when you watch a movie like that, there's so much lore of Batman watching it, from the movies to the TV shows to the comics to the memes, all this other stuff involving Batman. Like, it does a better job breaking down Batman as a character and his relationship with the Joker and just him as a character than even the live action movies do. In a lot of
cases. Here's my argument against that, because Lego Batman had an hour and 30 minutes to unpack all that. This only is like 45 minutes.
Yeah, if it was longer, if it was like something, I'm saying if they did something like this, but made it longer, because right now I think Disney Star Wars, it needs to laugh at itself. It needs to, kind of take all these jokes, all this kind of hatred that's being directed at it, and kind of redirect it. And kind of laugh at itself. I think that's what it needs.
The Mandalorian can only do so much to save Star Wars.
Yeah, so I think if you had something on the level like something like Lego Batman, bring on someone who is on the talent level like a Phil Lord and Chris Miller, somebody who does have such a love and appreciation for Star Wars, but also knows how to take the piss out of Star Wars.
Which I'm kind of surprised one of the jokes wasn't Rey going back and seeing how all the Jedi train their students. Yeah, the Jedi are kind of really terrible teachers. I'm kind of surprised that wasn't the joke of it.
So that would have been a nice, funny joke, like in-depth joke that something like you would see, like if Phil Lord or Chris Miller came and did maybe something like this with Star Wars. That'd kind of be one of those stories. A lot of the jokes themselves are kind of like surface level stuff. I mean, Star Wars, it's one of the most parodied things ever. So, you hear a lot of people make jokes about the who shot first thing, and then the hello there thing, and the pod racing, and a lot of other stuff. Like people making jokes with the stormtroopers. Like it's one of the most parodied things. So
exactly. Every comedy series, every animated show, they do a Star Wars parody at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's hard to kind of come up with these kind of real good fresh jokes for it. Stuff that we haven't kind of heard in some variation in one form or another. So that's kind of a little hard, but still, I will still say like some of it is still very much, like I said, cute, very fun, chuckle-worthy jokes. Something that is, the length of it is pretty short, so you don't get annoyed, I don't think, at all. You know what I mean? So it gets in, it gets out. I love the stuff like between Darth Vader and the Emperor when they visit Kylo Ren. I think that stuff is pretty good. So overall, if I had to give a final rating to this, I would say it is a maybe strong 6, light 7 out of 10 for this. Chayse, what do you think?
I don't know, man. It's not like a full-length movie or anything, so I'm gonna refrain from rating it. It's kind of just cute out of 10. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're just looking for something cute to watch with your child, or if you wanted to turn this into like a drinking game or something, it's like a cute out of 10.
This is just for me, this is a very strong, I'd say 6.5 out of 10. It's a very quick watch. The nostalgia was really cool to see. It's kind of cool to see characters like Finn and like Rey interact with like Darth Vader and stuff like that. But most of the jokes, they didn't really hit for me. There wasn't any moment where I was laughing out loud. It was all just kind of it was all like a lot of chuckling.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Do you all want to go into the Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon? I think we got enough time. We're at like 2 hours right now. Do you think you got enough time for it, or do you want to just wrap up, or?
Yeah, we could probably wrap up.
Yeah, I'm good to wrap up.
Okay. All right. Want to talk about the Clifford thing real quick?
Oh, Jesus. That monstrosity.
Yeah. So we can mention it real quick. We still got like 30 minutes. We can mention it real quick. So to all the people out there, Clifford the Big Red Dog, teaser trailer is out, and it is freaking people out. This is the complex right here. I'm reading this. Now, did anybody here ever see the Clifford the Big Red Dog? When they were kids.
I saw a couple of cartoons. I read a couple of the books. They were cute. They were very cute. That's all I can remember really about them.
All I can remember was the theme song, Clifford, the Big Red Dog, and that was like him just repeating it for like a whole minute.
Okay.
I don't know who was asking for this, to be honest with you. Do you?
Nobody.
Were you asking for this, Josh?
Nobody was asking for this. No, you know who was asking for this? It's the director, Walt Becker, who has directed such fine fare as Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip,
oh god,
Old Dogs, Wild Hogs.
So this is This is right up his alley.
Oh yeah, this is right up this talentless hack's alley.
Let's not review this, please.
Let's see when
is
it
out.
Let's see when
2021 is
November 5th, 2021. So
there has to be a lot of movies around that weekend, please, because he normally stacks his movies against like all the heavy hitters.
No, and if you, in case like you had any semblance of hope for this movie, this stars I'm looking on IMDb. David Alan Grier is the voice of Clifford.
Oh God,
has such a
that's a choice. That's quite a choice, my friend.
And John Cleese is debasing himself by being in this movie.
He always gets somebody to do it. I swear, he always finds one decent actor and it's just like, all right, you're going to be in this terrible movie. I have some blackmail on you. You're going to be in it.
Yeah,
right?
Be in my movie or this picture of you fucking a dog goes on the internet.
Yeah.
Some people were freaked out by it. Literally it's a big red dog. That's what it is. That's what it's supposed to be.
It's not even but it's not like even a large breed of dog that they technicolored red. It's like a puppy that they colored red. It's fucking freaky. That's uncanny valley as shit, man.
Yeah, the proportions just aren't right.
Yeah, and
somebody tried to compare it to like the Sonic situation, but I think this is so much worse because it's like not even like they're not like you can tell they didn't even try.
Because
it reminds me more of Cats than it does anything. It's just all the proportions are wrong. It's freaking me out, man.
Because the teaser trailer is a short 19 seconds. It has a row of regular sized dogs, and then you see Clifford's big red ass, up there with all these regular sized dogs, and he's huge amongst them. And I guess that kind of does look freaky, like him standing next to these, regular sized dogs, and he's huge. I guess that does look freaky, and him being kind of puppy sized and him being red. But I mean, that's what he did. And then somebody was saying that in the books when he was like a little puppy, he was small. Like he was like a really, kind of even small for a puppy. He was super small.
He was like a normal sized puppy when he was young, and then he grew into the big red dog.
Then he grew. So, they're doing their own thing with the origin story. They're coming up with their own thing. They're doing it. They're doing it their way. I guess the Paramount who's doing this movie, they're doing it their way. So, good on them, I guess. More power to them.
I just hope and pray that there's a long list of great movies that will overshadow this movie so that we don't have to witness what this movie is.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
because that's normally what he does.
Yeah, I watched Cats dead sober. I can't do another freaky animal movie.
Why would you ever watch that sober?
I was drunk when I got to the theater, but then the second they came on, it was like, oh, nope.
It started to sober out.
Yeah.
Sober up.
It was terrifying.
Wow.
All right, so let's get out of here, people. All right, so to all you people out there listening to this, let's let you know where you can find us. Twitter.com, The Afternoon Tune. On Facebook, at The Afternoon Tune. If you want to send us an email, you can email us at theafternoon@gmail.com. We're on Instagram at The Afternoon Tune. Just everything Afternoon Tune. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, wherever you listen to podcasts, we will be there. Chayse, where can they find you?
You can find me at Mr. Chayse Mac. That is spelled MrChayse Mac, MAC. No spaces in between. It's all one word. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and now Twitch even. Where can they find you, Nick?
You can find me Twitter and Instagram at Night and Day Nick. Any suggestions for a light week? Any stuff you want us to talk about? Any news? Any movies, TV? Hit us up.
Yeah, and do not recommend Clifford.
All right. So, to all you people out there, hope you enjoy listening to this. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Coming back at you next week, brand new crop of topics.
Yep. If you're listening to this after surviving the carnage of Black Friday, good on you.
Yeah. So, to all you people out there listening to this, don't forget to always stay tuned.